Namaste. Welcome to Vaizang Career Guide. Today we have Ms. Dipali Kakkar with us, who's had her career in the banking sector. Let's hear from her what is her journey been like. Welcome, Dipali.
Hi, thank you. Namaste. I really am very obliged that banking is something that people are now looking forward to nowadays, and you are covering that for the next generation.
Yes, thank you so much. So, Dipali, what has been your educational background?
So I was a BCA, and I have done my master's in banking. Sorry, MBA in finance.
Okay. So, what was the first job like?
My first job was with Axis Bank. That time when I joined,
Okay.
it was UTI. And
Mhm.
I was appointed as a priority banking relationship manager. So
Okay.
now they call it your privilege banking. So we were very happy to go and work there for the only reason because our seniors were amazing. I joined it in Gujarat, and
Okay.
in Ahmedabad, our seniors were very helpful. And the clientele, as we know, it's privilege banking, so they will be one above the normal client. So there also the treatment which you get as an employee is very good. And we
Okay.
used to do everything for them, as in their normal banking, plus
Mhm.
upsell, cross sell, everything for them. We were one
Okay.
stop solution for them for everything.
Okay. So, Dipali, apart from this, you've held various roles in the banking sector, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So,
correct, correct.
could you just help us with what are the various roles that you've worked in?
Yeah, so I mean, as our MBA always says that your target audience or the target customers are very important. For me, it changed like drastically. I was in Ahmedabad, as I told you, when I joined. Then
Mhm.
I came to Bangalore after my marriage. And here
Okay.
also the target audience were very different, though I was in the same role. And I learned a lot of things because here, as you know, in Bangalore, there are a lot of IT companies. So you have who's who as your client. So the
Right.
way you interact with them is very different from the way you do with a client in Gujarat, because here people are more professional in Bangalore,
Right.
and
Right.
they are to the point. So they finish their work and then go. So that was one role which I really enjoyed. I did it for 4.5 years. Thereafter, I
Mhm.
wanted to learn more on operations. So then
Okay.
I had a shift to ICICI Bank, and there I have actually handled a lot of operational related roles, starting with retail forex. And
Okay.
it was very nice because the way I was getting trained was very good. Our Bombay team was very supportive. And ICICI,
Okay.
that is one thing which they are always known as in our finance industry. If you are in finance and you have not worked with any branch of ICICI, then you have not done your training. It's like that.
Okay.
They
Okay.
are the trainers of the market. And after the forex role, they had given me a lot of other roles in operations. In my 3.5 years of career with them, I have seen main four audits because I was in different branches, and every
Mhm.
audit gives you different experiences and a lot of
Right.
learning. But yes, one thing I must say with RBI and the internal audit teams of all these banks, as and when they see that changes are required, they are doing it drastically. Like a demonetization
Right.
was a very big change which the government got, and I think so the banking industry really helped them.
Absolutely. So, Dipali, when you talk about operations in a banking environment, what are the various, job roles that are there, and what, opportunities do freshers get in this?
Okay, so in banking, one thing which is very different from the past banking is people have to be passionate. There is nothing like
Okay.
operations and sales.
Okay.
Anybody who is sitting on the desk is a
Mhm.
person who is working for the bank doing everything. Like, for example, if I'm sitting in operations, you are coming to me as a client for getting a statement or a demand draft or an FD. I am sitting here giving you one-stop solution on behalf of my bank for everything. आपको
Okay.
FD चाहिए, but according to your age, your risk profile, I will see whether FD is good for you or I can give you something else which will be better for you. So
Okay.
that is something which we call as cross sell. Apart from that,
Mhm.
banks also do your general insurance, life insurance, so that the client need not go anywhere else.
Right.
So the basic normal operations is like your DD, FD, your cash deposit, cash withdrawal, which everybody knows. But now
Right.
banking has become much more than that. It is giving you quality services. Your forex services, ho gaya, anything you ask and the bank has it. And the best
Right.
part is that they are taking ownership of it because they are supplying to their own clients, which is like, their name is involved. So
Absolutely.
I really am very amazed which basket of things which they give. I mean, the client need not go anywhere.
Right. So, as you said that now banks have, the employees in the bank, they have to do all aspects of the banking function in, one person.
Correct.
How do freshers, get trained in so many things to be
Correct.
facing the customer right at the beginning?
So here there is a lot of on the job training. But one thing I
Okay.
learned with in Access also, and ICICI is so good with this. They have their training modules every Saturdays. When I used to work,
Okay.
every Saturdays we'll be given 2 days prior in advance the training module on each topic, and this will be pan India. So they want
Okay.
to train each employee on a lot of different aspects, and then they will have an official test on it. We'll have a yearly
Okay.
test on overall topics, which we have to clear mandatorily. Apart from that, we have a lot of trainings which we have to attend in the back end for our different topics every year. And we have a specific amount of mandates which we have to clear every year. And they make sure
Okay.
that trainings are happening. And not only this, for managerial roles, they also send you for your soft skill trainings and I mean different department trainings also if you are changing your department. So that
Okay.
ways they are making sure that they're keeping the staff updated. Unlike
Mhm.
older times, जब आप बैंक जाते हो तो they will say आज तो ये नहीं आया है तो डीडी आपको कल मिलेगा. That is not the
Right.
case with private. Everybody has
Yeah.
to be equipped with everything. So the client doesn't go unhappy. They are only here
Yes.
to delight the client. That's it.
Okay. So how easy it is, as you said that the training is there, but how easy it is for, an employee to do a cross-functional shift?
It is not easy. Definitely, it is challenging, and that is why I told the person has to be passionate. If you
Okay.
are passionate, you can do it. I mean, I have done it
Okay.
and I completely agree we can do it because if I was not, I wouldn't have bought the point. After I finished my career with ICICI, I started training for PO program of ICICI with Manipal University.
Okay.
And the way I have seen kids, nowadays kids, the only problem is no commitment.
Right.
They want everything very fast without giving much efforts. But I
Yes.
have seen in my so many years that if you give effort, you definitely get paid for.
Okay.
For some, it is early, for some, it is later on. It is very
Mhm.
challenging because there are so many things you have to cover. But
Right.
it is possible. That I can
Okay.
agree.
Okay. So banks, when they're hiring, yeah, are they looking for a specific, educational background?
So, where I was teaching in the PO program, we had
Mhm.
kids coming from your engineering background also and from
Okay.
commerce background also. And there they were teaching them starting from scratch including English also because there were some kids who were coming from areas where some states as we know in India they are not too much into your spoken English and all that because
Right.
you can be posted anywhere in India, you will not be posted in your hometown.
Right.
So they start from scratch, accounts, English, everything, and
Mhm.
they take you to a level whereby you understand what banking is. And there the course
Okay.
is so nice. It's a 12 months course whereby the students have to stay there. And 6 months they are on the job training. उनको बैंक भेजते
Okay.
हैं. And they
Okay.
are also taught specializations in their in IMA. It's called IMA, Manipal
Okay.
Academy, and it's
Mm-hmm.
amazing. So ideally, if you're joining bank, this is one of the best thing you can do, and then join a bank, because then you will
Okay.
have a base as to what you're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike like we joined after MBA, we learned
Right.
almost everything on the job,
Okay.
whereby हमें basic finance पता था, but we were not trained proper banking. But we were very lucky that our seniors were very helpful, and we used to
Right.
regularly be giving circulars whereby which will help us how to work in the bank, because bank has a lot of audits and a lot of procedures to follow, which has to be followed. So,
Yes.
I mean, if you do such a course and then join, it is better.
Okay.
Otherwise, you can join directly. Also, it depends how they will take it and what is their requirement at
Okay.
that point in time.
Okay. And this is educational background, but in terms of soft skills, because now companies are paying a lot of attention to a candidate's soft skills. So for banking industry, what are the kind of soft skills that are, preferred?
So generally, soft skills depends whenever they're interviewing the clients. Interviewing the students or whomsoever is coming and joining their bank. They will also assess that. And if more soft skills is something which how you interact with your customers, and
Okay.
customers will be starting from a layman in a bank till your prime minister also. Anybody can
Right.
come down to you. So how much patience do you have, and the way you interact with them? The most difficult customers, I would say, would be your senior citizens, because they will not have
Okay.
patience. But
Right.
the way we are trained there,
Mhm.
there are soft skill trainings also, as I told you, in banking,
Okay.
to make sure
Right.
that the client will be delighted when he goes, not satisfied, to make sure that the client will come back happy.
Okay.
So basic soft skills, luckily in India, we all are trained the basic soft skills. But yes, the banks also give soft skill trainings to their employees once they join, wherever and whenever required. So they will,
Okay.
on a regular basis, assess this, and the manager will tell that yes, such employees are requiring such trainings, whether it is soft skills or related to the banking financial knowledge. The
Mhm.
employees are sent on a batch to batch basis.
Okay. And what are the promotion opportunities like? Are they frequent or is it a yearly basis?
So that all depends on a profile to profile basis, for sure. But yes, it also depends on how you perform. As I told you,
Okay.
abhi kuch operations and sales jaisa nahi hai. Everything depends on your passion. I have seen
Right.
people getting promoted in a year also, and the same role I have seen people getting promoted in 4 years also. But it all
Okay.
depends on you. And people
Uh-huh.
who I resigned in 2013 from ICICI, the people who were with me are now in national roles. They are
Okay.
managing a lot of good portfolios in the bank. So
Okay.
ऐसा कुछ नहीं, it all depends on you. Like, I mean, I have worked with ICICI, so she is one of the biggest quote which was always given. Chanda ma'am, she was a
Hmm.
management trainee when she joined ICICI, and she went
Okay.
up to the MD level. So it
Okay.
is only up to you. And this is not
Hmm.
only in ICICI, and in Access also I have seen. I mean, it's only up to you how you want to
Okay.
perform. And rewards are
Okay.
definitely. That is for sure.
Okay. So, Dipali, if I were to ask you, one tip for succeeding in banking industry, what would that be?
One tip:
Yeah,
passion
you
plus
can give
time.
me two. Okay.
Passion plus time, because initially, when you join any organization for that matter, whether banking or any other organization, time is something which you should give. Then only you will be able to learn a lot of things initially. Because what
Okay.
happens is, what I have learned from my seniors, अगर आप base से नहीं सीखोगे, when you become a manager, you don't know what your juniors are taking you for a ride. So you should
Right.
always give a lot of time, and you learn, because banking is very vast. Like, I have always worked in liability. Assets is just another ball game.
Okay.
So it is very deep. The more time you give, the more you learn, the higher you grow.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dipali, for sharing your insights into the banking industry. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Yeah. Take care.
So that was Miss Dipali Kakkar sharing with us her journey in the banking sector, how she's explored various roles and learned everything from the basics. The courses that she mentioned and the tip that she gave, I think is something that we should all always follow, which is to have time and patience to learn everything from the basics. Don't ever assume that you know something. It is always better to ask questions and learn, because the more you learn, the stronger your base would be and higher chances of you getting promoted and moving up the corporate ladder faster. If you have any questions, do write to us in comments below and we'll get back to you. Also, do like, share, and subscribe the channel. Thank you.